We had great weather. I appreciate whoever took care of that for us. Great weather, which was definitely questionable going in. But all in all, things that we wanted to try to accomplish, I think we got out of the night fairly healthy. We had good energy, great crowd. I think the people in the stands, the fans before the game had a good time. I hope that both our coaches had a good time. I know how it feels after a victory. I'm not sure how Coach Poland's doing after a close loss. It'd be tough to swallow that one for a while. But, really, I thought it was a good night. We got out of what we wanted to, and it was great for the community, and a lot of people turned out. We had recruiting going on today, too, and that went well. So, all in all, no huge injuries and a lot of fun. Seemed like a good night to me. What you got?
Any difference having two basically guest coaches this go around rather than one?
Well, I mean, we had two last year. Coach Lacewell was coaching for the opposing team. He was a late addition because Nick didn't have anybody that he wanted to bring with him. But I'm not sure he did a whole lot. He kept moving further and further away from the action as the game went on. No, I thought it was good. They had a good day. We kept them busy most of the day. Main thing for them was just let them have fun and see things from behind the scenes. We still ran what we were going to run on offense and defense. We had a couple questionable going for it on 4th and 30, but hey, man, when you're the boss, you get to do whatever you want to.
Coach, what do you think of the big plays? Look, I mean, I know it's a scrimmage, a lot of that will happen, but it seemed like there was a lot of big plays with the offense, even from the defense too.
I really early in the goings, I thought the defense was going to run away with it. We gave up 2 turnovers and a 21-point swing with the way the scoring system went, and that puts the offense way behind, the 8 ball in terms of how the game was going. So it was good to see the offense battle back and find a way to get a couple scores and get it back to a close game at halftime. But yeah, you're right. There were some big plays on both sides. Creating the turnover, scoring on defense, which is anytime you can get non-offensive scores, that's going to change the complexion of the game real quick. Be either defense or special teams. But a couple of big runs that I know Logan Moraine had one that just it hit and it opened up. You could see it from behind, and to have the speed to outrun both safeties was something I hadn't really had a chance to see from him. And we know what Mike and Silky can do, but both Keithan and Logan both had some big runs, made some guys miss in open field. So those are bright spots. The receivers were kind of used to seeing Trez and Booker and some of those guys make the plays they've made, but to see a couple of new guys step up and do some things, it was a good sign.
Everybody on the defensive side that maybe you hadn't really thought about then showed out tonight?
Just not from where I was standing. Obviously, a lot of the time I'm sitting there making sure the quarterback's not getting hit, to be honest with you. So really seeing a limited view of what's going on. I've been real pleased with our defense all spring. I think it's been a different guy step up every day. Collectively, we've played a lot stronger against the run, and we held some guys out real early in this one tonight. We had some guys beat up, so they probably played more snaps than we would like them to up front, and several guys didn't play at all. And you can see the fatigue. I think we had 75 plays at halftime between the two groups, and a lot of those guys defensively were playing the entire time, so they'd already played a game by halftime. We only had 3 safeties, and we were down to about 4 D tackles that were rotating in, and it got to be too many snaps for guys.
What do you think of the 2 quarterbacks? What do you think of their play individually for both guys?
Just from where I was standing and watching, we've got to make better decisions, and we can't turn the ball over. And we took sacks in positions to score points, ended up not coming away with points. We can't obviously turn the ball over for a touchdown, and just to me, it was not one of their better days today compared to what I think they've had up to this point. I don't know if it was just a situation or just a day that was a little bit off, but I think both have had better days leading up to today. But there'll be some things we can definitely teach from that happened tonight.
That interception in camp, was that a miscommunication on someone's part? It looked like.
No, I think it's just a bad decision on his part, and he suffered the consequences. I think he threw it without seeing what was happening out in the perimeter, and by the time the ball came out, and you don't get a string on it, you can't bring it back. He let it go and didn't see what was happening, and gives up 7 points. We're not going to win games doing that, and again, it's a good teaching moment.
You mentioned
Go ahead, Tron.
You mentioned your run defense, a couple times this spring, and just kind of, where do you think you guys are at this point, and how big of a relief it seemed like they did pretty well other than the two big plays tonight. Is that a relief to be able to?
Yeah, and I'm not sure who was
Yeah.
in when those hit. You know, we had some 1 versus 2s, 2 versus 1. I don't know what the mix was when that happened. I don't know what group was on the field. I know right now we're physically better against the run than we were at any point last year. Now, we luckily have all summer and all fall camp to really get ready, but it's a foundation for what's possible. And we got through spring. It looks like we got through spring without losing anybody to a season-ending injury. A lot of people have not been that lucky, so that was one of the biggest steps we had to take. And we got good, solid reps from all of those interior guys. Now we just got to get them in great shape over the summer and get them to the fall. But I think what we did in recruiting and the moves we made up front are going to help us be better against the run next year.
With the second team, the number 2 quarterback, a big thing you want to find out this spring, did you kind of like the situation that those guys got all the snaps? Obviously, you'd like to have Freddie out there,
Yeah.
but like to have all those guys got all the snaps tonight, so it maybe gives you more evaluation.
Well, they got a good week's worth of reps. I mean, Freddie's been out for a week. They're forced reps because you're right. If Freddie would have been healthy, he'd have gotten a lot more than of those reps, and we would have limited what they did. It was helpful in that sense, but we by no means have the number 2 position decided yet, and it'll take all through fall camp. But they need more reps and need more opportunity to learn. To be fair to either one of them, especially honestly Tabry with no more snaps than he's really had. He's threw scout team balls all year long off of cards. So I just think there's no rush. We know who the number 1 is. We got time to decide on number 2. We may still be deciding on that early in the season. We're going to take our time and get the right guy because kind of once you go that direction, it's hard to go back the other. You got to move forward with it.
Is there anything you took away from the ladies tonight? Anything that you can put in your bag of tricks?
I really just tried to stay out of their way, to be honest with you, and just tried to focus on what was happening on the field. Now, we have a lot of it on video, and so I'll have a chance to go back. We had them mic'd up, and it was videoed. I'll have a chance to go back and study a little bit more in depth. My main focus for them was to have a good time, and I hope they did, and I think they hopefully it was one of those experiences that you couldn't get any other way. So I hope Angie and Meredith had some fun.
Overall reflection on the spring, you feel pretty good about everything?
I think we moved in the right direction. I still think there's a lot of work left to do. I'm glad we're not playing today. I think we really need, especially with the 8 new guys, they need a good off season under the belt, a good summer to go back and study what we did this spring. But I do think we took some good strides defensively, especially with some guys that are going to help us play better in next season. I still think we got some work to do up front on the O-line, trying to find the right 5. Who's truly going to be our center? We didn't get to look at Devin over the last week, and that wasn't what we wanted. We wanted to see him keep playing center. Daniel Keith took some good snaps, but I don't really know if that's where he truly needs to be. That's still a work in progress, and that'll be something we got to keep finding out, especially early in fall camp, because we got to find the 5 we're going to play with and let those guys communicate together. And injury and just opportunity didn't really give us that chance to solidify who those 5 guys are yet.
What are timelines for Freddie and JD just in terms of getting back out and doing off-season stuff?
JD's about 6 weeks out to truly cut him loose. Just ankle again, and they're going to do. They did some work on it today to kind of clean it up. Just scope and stuff to clean it up, so he'll feel better when he does come out. Cinnamore 6 to 8 weeks out with the ankle. Freddie probably could have played today if needed to, but there just wasn't any reason. And several other guys, same way, Jake Swally and some of those guys that we held out today, it wasn't smart to put them out there with them being less than 100%. All those guys should be healthy for the fall, and they should all be ready for fall camp. And I would say all of them should get at least a good half of the summer cycle under their belt before we get ready for fall camp.
On offense, can you really take a lot of strides when you've got some pretty big pieces out?
It's hard. The continuity's not the same, and we've moved the O-line around so much. It's been hard to truly. We've not had the same center guard combination, 2 snaps in a row. It seems like, and still trying to find the right. And then injuries took over to the same. To some degree, and then Freddie's out. The good thing is we got a lot of experience coming back. I feel like we're gonna, when we get everybody healthy and get them all out there, I'd like to think we're gonna get back into some rhythm with that. The center position is critical to figuring out exactly what that's gonna be. I think we knew that going in, and we got some guys that can do it. I just don't know which one's going to be the best for us, every down.
When you break camp on Monday, just kind of the message that you're going to have for the guys.
Well, Monday for us is going to be a little bit of a lab day. Work some things, let O and D work against each other with some looks that they have not seen all spring. And we're going to prepare them for the summer. We turn it over to them in the summer. They normally work out 2 or 3 days a week as a team without coaches being there. And so we want to help them do that as efficiently as possible. Kind of go through, how to efficiently set up drill work to get the most out of their time when they are up here. And so when we turn it over to them, really on Tuesday, that they're gonna maximize their time, so they don't get out there and waste 2 hours when they can get a lot done in an hour. And from the sound of it, they did a good job last year. We're gonna clean up some things and kind of turn it over to them.